Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today's session, inshallah, will be on stative verbs. And I think we should, before we talk about stative verbs, we should know the differences between the present simple and the present continuous. So let's do a quick revision on the present simple and the present continuous. The present continuous, as we know, the present continuous is formed with the present tense of verb to be, which is am or is or are, plus the verb plus ing. So I can say, I'm speaking to you now, and you are listening to me now. And at the moment, I am looking at the screen, and you are listening to me at the moment. The present continuous is used to talk about, number one, to talk about something that is in progress now, at the time of speaking, at this moment, and so on. So you can say, now we are watching a DVD about elephants. I'm talking about an action which is happening now. The second usage, temporary activity or temporary situation, but not necessarily happening at the time of speaking. For example, I am reading a story nowadays. So I'm not talking about an action which is happening now at the time of speaking, but these days, nowadays, I'm not holding a book now, but these days I'm reading this book. 3, expressing annoyance with always, forever, and never. So if someone has a habit and this habit annoys you, you can use always and forever and never in the present continuous to say that this habit is annoying to you. So if someone always comes late and this action is annoying to you, you can say you are always coming late, not you always come. You always come, you are talking about a certain habit he has, but you are always coming late, you mean that this habit, which always happens, this habit is annoying to you. Number 4, arrangements we have made for the future. If you want to travel to the USA one day, you can say, I will travel. But if you want to say that you have prepared something, you have booked the tickets and so on, you will say, I am traveling, not I will travel. I am traveling to America next week. Why you said I'm traveling? Because you have booked the tickets, because you have arranged it with a friend, because you have taken your family's permission and so on. So these are examples on how to use present continuous to express an action that is happening at the time of speaking. This girl is reading a book now. Now she is holding a book and reading it. Temporary activity or situation. This person is living in the street until he can find a flat. So this person doesn't live in the street, doesn't always live in the street, but he is living in the street until he can find a flat. So it's a temporary activity. Arrangements for the future. This girl is going to the cinema tomorrow. She says, I am going to the cinema tomorrow. Why did she say, I am going, not I will go? It's clear that she has booked the tickets, or she has arranged with a friend, or she has taken her father's permission. So she has made some arrangements. Expressing annoyance like you are always coming late or you are never coming early. This employee always comes late, okay? But this action is annoying to his manager. So his manager says, you are always coming late, not you always come. You are always coming late. Why? Because this activity or this habit is annoying to the manager. The present simple tense. We use the present simple tense to talk about general things, general truth, and scientific facts. Okay, when we talk about something in general, okay, and we all agree about it, like the sun sits in the west. The sun sits in the west. The sun never sits in the east or south or north, but always in the west. No one can deny that. And we are talking about it in general, as a fact, as a truth, not describing what is happening now. If you are describing what is happening now, you will use the present continuous, as we said. Like, look, the sun is sitting in the west now. Now we are describing an action which is happening now. But the sun sits in the west, I'm talking generally, okay? Or the earth revolves around the sun. We are talking about a general truth, okay? And the earth revolves because the earth is a singular noun. And we know that we add s or es or ies to the verb if the subject is a singular noun or a third person pronoun. Third person pronoun means he, she, it. He, she, it, or any singular noun takes s with the verb. 2. Permanent or long-lasting situations. If we are talking about permanent situation, موقف دائم or long-lasting situation, a situation that takes long time, I'll use the present simple. For example, I live in a small village. I live in a small village. It's my place. I am talking about something which is permanent, takes long time, not temporary. He works as a fireman. He works as a fireman. It's his job, not a temporary job. 3. Things which happen repeatedly, regular habits and daily routines, like he usually wakes up at 10 past 10. I'm talking generally. I'm talking about an everyday situation. He usually wakes up, but I usually wake up. 4. She goes hiking every Saturday. It's her habit to go hiking every Saturday. She goes, he goes, but I, we, you, they go. 4. One action follows another. When we talk about sequence of actions, action that happen in the present, one after another, yani first, then, after that, finally, and so on, we have sequence of actions. We use the present simple. For example, these persons, these people, take their bags. After that, they leave. So you can say, they take their bags and leave. 5. Timetables and schedules. Timetables and schedules. Like the timetable of the lessons. When does the first lesson start? The timetable of the plane, of the train, of the lectures, of the programs, of the movies, and so on. Our course begins next week. Oh, I'm talking about next week. It's future, but I didn't use well. Why? Because it's according to the timetable. It's according to the timetable or or schedule. The plane doesn't leave until 4:30. Can you see the timetable now or the schedule now? Okay, so the plane doesn't leave until 4:30. Now comes to stative verb. If you look at the picture and look at these verbs, you can see that they are four groups. The first group are verbs of senses, like see, hear, smell, taste. Okay. The second group, know, understand, remember, forget, think, hope, believe, realize, mean, suppose, recognize, mind. These verbs are state of mind, state of mind. The third group is love, hate, like, dislike, envy, feel, care, miss. These verbs describe describe feelings. Okay, what does the person feel? The fourth group is want, prefer, desire, have, need, own, belong, possess. Most of them describe possession. What does this person have? These verbs and others are called stative verbs. Why they are called stative verbs? Because they describe states. They describe states, not actions. Not actions. So the verbs can be divided into stative verbs and action verbs. Most verbs are action. Action verbs describe actions we take or things that happen. Action verbs are verbs that you can see people doing, like run. I can see people running. I can see people reading. I can see people writing. So these verbs are actions. So they can be used in the present simple, and you say, he reads a story every day, or present continuous and says, he is reading a story now. So action verbs can be used in the present simple, past simple, present perfect simple, past perfect simple, future simple, and also can be used in continuous tenses like present continuous, past continuous, present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous, future continuous, and so on. Okay, and the action verbs can be seen. People can be seen while doing action verbs. But stative verbs describe state. بتوصف state حالة. They refer to the way the things are, like their appearance, state of being, and so on. So if you describe the table, you can say the table feels hard, feels hard. Feels here is not an action. You cannot see the table while being hard. Okay, it's here state, it's state, sorry. And you can say I am liking English. No, I like English because like is a stative verb. I cannot see people while liking something. Okay, stative verbs are never used in continuous forms. When you you love someone, that's a state, a fact, or emotion, but not an action, like running, for example. Whenever you want to express a state, position, sense, or emotions, use the simple form, not the progressive or the continuous form. The following words are all or all belongs to this group. Verbs showing emotions like like, love, dislike, hate, need, prefer, adore, want, wish, desire. I wish to stay thin. I wish. You cannot say I am wishing. You cannot see people while wishing something. Okay? The wish is inside their heart, inside their mind. So these verbs describes emotions and cannot be used in the present continuous or any continuous tense. The second group, verbs that show possession, like have, own, possess, contain, include, belong. You can say she has a cat. That means she owns a cat. She possesses a cat, or this cat belongs to her. The third group, verbs that show thought, like know, believe, doubt, understand, realize, remember, forget, notice, recognize, think, seem, expect, imagine, know. These verbs are a state of mind. You cannot see people while doing them. She believes she has won. You cannot decide what she believes. Okay? I cannot decide if you believe English is easy or not. Verbs that show senses like see, hear, smell, taste, feel, sound, look. The butterfly looks beautiful. So now I am describing the look of the butterfly. Okay? It's not an action, it's a state. Some other verbs like be, expect, fit, need, matter, cost, mean, owe, require, weigh. For example, our body requires vitamins. Require here is not an action verb. You cannot see the body while requiring something, okay? But it's a state. But some verbs can be both stative verbs and action verbs, but with a different meaning. The most common verbs of these verbs are verb to be. Generally, this person is a friendly person, but he is being really angry today. What has happened? Now I have two uses of verb to be. The first use, which is, describes usual behavior. He is a friendly person. In general, he is a friendly person. This is his usual behavior. The second use is being really angry today. Now I'm describing something which is happening at the moment. It's not his normal behavior. Like Ken is being very rude. That means it's not his habit, it's not his usual behavior. The children are being very naughty. Now I'm talking about today only. It's not their normal behavior. The second verb is expect. Expect also has two meanings. The first meaning is state, like I expect you will win the cup. I expect here means I think or I believe. It's a state. You cannot know what I think or what I believe or what I expect. For example, I expect you want to leave now. I expect you want to leave now. The second usage is an action verb. I am expecting some guests tonight. Expecting here means waiting for. I am expecting dinner guests tonight. I am waiting for them. So you can see people while waiting for something. Okay. Another example, we are expecting visitors this weekend. Expect here also means wait for. We are waiting for visitors this weekend. Another verb is have. Have has many meanings, lots of meanings. The first meaning, which is common, have with the meaning of possess or own. Okay, she has a cat. I mean, she owns a cat. I mean, she possesses a cat. You cannot say she is having a cat. Okay, but the second meaning can be eat. You can say, I'm having a sandwich. I mean, I'm eating. I'm drinking or I'm having tea. And it can also be used with the meaning of experience, like the cat is having a swim. The cat is going for a swim. Okay, you can also say, I am having trouble with my history homework. I am having trouble means I'm experiencing trouble. You can say he is having a terrible time. Yani he is spending or he is experiencing a terrible time. Okay, you can say he is having lunch with his parents today. He is having lunch means he is eating lunch. Okay, so have with the meaning of possess or owns is a stative verb and used only in simple tenses. But have with the meaning of experience or eat or drink is action verb. Look. Sometimes we use look with the meaning of see. This butterfly looks beautiful. Now I'm describing the look of the butterfly. But she is looking at the butterfly. It's an action verb. You can see her while looking at the butterfly. Taste. Taste can be used with two meanings. The first meaning is have a particular flavor, which is a stative verb. When you describe the flavor of something, like this chocolate rose tastes fabulous. Now I'm describing the flavor, the taste of something. But the action use of taste is she is tasting the chocolate. She is tasting the chocolate. Okay. So other examples, these cupcakes taste great. It's a stative verb. But I'm tasting the soup. It's an action verb. Think. They think calling is fun. It's a state. They think with the meaning of believe. They are thinking how to tell their parents that they want to go out with their friends. Now they are thinking. They are thinking. So it's an action verb. So think with the meaning of have opinion, like believe, is a stative verb. Like, do you think rap music is terrible? But think with the meaning of consider something is an action verb. Like Mark is thinking of getting married. See. I see what's wrong with my patient. See here means understand. So it's a stative verb. I see what's wrong with my patient. But I am seeing my patient tomorrow means I am meeting my patient tomorrow. So see with the meaning of understand is a stative verb. For example, I am sorry, but I don't see what you mean. But see with the meaning of meet is an action verb, like we are seeing him on Thursday. Smell. Smell like taste can be used with the meaning of have a particular smell, which is a stative verb, and it can be used with act or action of smelling. Yani, to use your nose in order to know the smell of something. And it's an action verb. She is smelling the rose. The last verb is weigh. Weigh. Weigh can be used with have a particular weight, okay, like this rabbit weighs a lot. But sometimes it's used as the meaning of measure the weight of something. Like the owner is weighing, he is weighing or she is weighing her rabbit. It's an action verb, okay? And it can be used with the present continuous tenses. So before we end our session, let's have a quick look on the differences between the present simple and the present continuous tenses. When do you decide to use the present simple or the present continuous? You should first decide if you are talking about permanent or temporary situation. If you are talking about permanent situation, you will use the present simple, like she lives in a small village. But if you are talking about temporary situation, you will use the present continuous, like she is living in the street now until she can find a flat. Number two, you should decide if you are talking in general or about something which is happening right now. If you are talking in general, you will use the present simple, like he works as a fireman, it's his job. But if you are talking about an action which is happening now, you will use the present continuous, like now he is climbing the mountain. The last thing, you should decide if you are talking about a daily routine or a timetable or an exception, okay? If you are talking about daily routine or something which is according to timetable and the schedule, you will use the present simple, like he usually gets up at 10:10. But if you are talking about exception, you will use the present continuous. Today, he is getting up at 5:15. Okay, thank you for watching. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.